Before we do anything, I need to give you a kitten update and introduce y'all to Teenage Spoon. Look at him. He's such a good boy. Sokka's over there like attacking my shoes, which is great. But hey guys, welcome back to the India and Stuff podcast, the only show for the behind the scenes in-betweens and all the other stuff where we just talk about stuff that basically no one cares about. But I still do it because I think it's fun and exciting and it's cool to kind of like vent to the void. Hopefully someone out there is listening and going, yeah, that's helpful. But what do I know? Today we are talking about wedding trends that I wish would die politely, not in any malicious way. And definitely this whole thing is just my opinion. Obviously, I work with a lot of brides, a lot of couples, a lot of clients in the wedding world. And I have seen well over 150 weddings at this point, probably around 200. I lost count somewhere in year 8, but I've seen a lot of weddings and I got a lot of thoughts about trends that I think are timeless, that should stay put, that are traditions for a reason, and things that are a little cringe, in my humble opinion. But by no means is this to cast judgment on anyone who is doing any of these in their weddings. We did some of these too that are officially on my list, but I just thought it'd be an easy, fun chat today. So we're going to talk about weddings. We're going to have a good time. I'm going to show you more kittens, and yeah, it's going to be a great time. Let's do it. Okay, so if you're brand new around here, you probably didn't know, but I am a full-time wedding photographer, specifically working into the higher end and destination luxury markets in Columbus, Ohio, New York City, and Los Angeles, California, and beyond. But mostly I work in Central Ohio for weddings. So a lot of mine take place in the main 3 cities, Columbus, Cleveland, Cincinnati. And that's kind of my context. I've done some in Pittsburgh. I've done some in Illinois. I've done some out in LA. I'm doing some all over the place. But I've seen a lot of things. And I think in the age of social media, TikTok specifically, we can, widen our views on any topic. But when it comes to like weddings and wedding planning, it's really easy to see someone's wedding inspiration or what they do go viral seemingly overnight. And then it feels like the next week or the next wedding that I come across, something that was trending on Monday is in their wedding on Saturday. And that's totally fine. Like it genuinely is fine. I don't have a strong opinion about people just like doing trendy little things. But it is just interesting that like for some people, what takes place on their wedding day is very like specific and sacred to them, really meaningful. Maybe they'll like think about it, pray about it for a few months, years, their entire life. And it's just funny to me that sometimes, some people will be thinking about this day for forever and have all these ideas and keep it very specific. And other people are like, oh, I saw this girl cut her hair in between her ceremony and reception on TikTok, so I want to do it. Like, it's like, do you? Like, it's fine if you want to just follow the trend, but like, do you actually want to do that? Or are you just trying to like make a viral video from it? I don't know. It's fine. But I do think it's funny some of the times. And for my own wedding, like I don't know. I just feel like I had thought so many things growing up about what my wedding was going to be like most girlies do, like dreaming about the like princess moment that you see in the Disney movies. And it definitely was enjoyable. And there was lots of those pieces, but certain things that I really thought I was going to emphasize and make sure happened just didn't happen for one reason or another. I guess a good example is I really thought I was going to write my vows way ahead of time and make them this really rich, beautiful thing. I love writing. I like words, I guess. And I had a lot of ideas of what I was going to say, but then with all the planning and everything, I just never got around to doing it beforehand, and neither did Ian. So I didn't feel bad. Like both of us were like, no, we need to write our vows. And we never really got around to it. So the morning of the wedding, I was like, this will be super cute, romantic. I'm going to leave the Airbnb for my girls early and go just like take a half hour at the venue. I sat under a tree, I had a coffee, and I just wrote my vows. And it's really cute in theory. And I was like, yeah, this is going to be a great idea. I'm going to write my vows the morning of our wedding, and they're going to be magical. And then we got up there and both of us had done this, and his were like, good. And mine were like, okay. But like thinking back to it, I'm like, so cringy, India. Like I wrote the dumbest stuff. I was like, and I hope you're gonna meet someone that's gonna cuddle with me and watch rom-coms. I was like, oh, like gag. It was so cringy. And both of us have said, yeah, no, like that's not at all what we were thinking that was gonna happen. And we want to redo on our vows, which is kind of interesting because that was the case. We have then started the tradition on every anniversary. We redo our vows, not like kind of like a vow renewal of sorts, but we rewrite a letter of promises from the past year, lessons we've learned, and then kind of present it to each other. So that's a fun little tradition that came out of our crazy brains on our wedding morning. But I'm going to share this list of things I've thought about. It'll probably be a growing list. I could see adding some more. But again, this is absolutely not to, judge anyone's decisions. These are my opinions only. Don't cancel me for my own opinion. But here are the wedding trends that I wish would politely die. Sunflowers. I know I'm going to ruffle some feathers with that. I'm sorry, but I'm not that sorry. For me, don't like them. And it just doesn't look appealing to the eye for me. If I was like on a farm or gardening, yeah, I like a sunflower once in a while, but it's not like my flower. It's not like fancy. It doesn't feel elegant or romantic. It feels like, I'm a sunflower. So does that make any sense? That's my first one. I'm not even a sunflower fan. Don't really need to see those on the wedding day. Okay, this one. Line dances. When we had our wedding, we specifically told our DJs, absolutely no, Cotton Eye Joe. There is no universe where we need to be bouncing on one leg and saying, where did you come from? Where did you go? Nothing screams more Midwest to me than the Cotton Eye Joseph. And I'm good if I don't see it anymore. It's all good. And I grew up in like youth group, and that was like the dance and all that stuff. But for one, it takes a lot of energy, it just does. For another, it's a 10-minute long song. Ain't nobody need to be out there for 10 minutes jumping on one pinky toe. And it's just not it for me. It's just not it. Now, I like some line dances that are like fun, like the wobble's fun. And like occasionally we could do the Cupid shuffle, but I'm talking like once in a blue moon. And as someone who goes to weddings 2 and 3 times a weekend, I've heard too many slide to the left, slide to the right. I think I'm good. Creatives, are you struggling to keep up with all your clients' needs? Maybe you feel like you're swimming through emails, DMs, texts, and feel like there's no way to keep communication together. Not to mention keeping track of payments, invoices, contracts, and having to freak out at 2 a.m. because you forgot to email a lead client back. Yikes! My entire workflow shifted when I stopped DIYing my approach and switched to HoneyBook. They are a powerhouse CRM, client relations management tool, if you didn't know, that acts as a coworker you've always needed. HoneyBook helps with invoicing, payment tracking, contracts for every session under the sun, scheduling, lead forms, automations, and streamlining communication to one stop for you. Not to mention your clients will notice the professional difference you bring to the table with the HoneyBook tools. If you're ready to step up your business and feel peace of mind with your client's approach, I have an exclusive offer for you. As a thank you for listening to the India and Stuff show, take 50% off your first year of HoneyBook by going to share.honeybook.com/IndiaJadePhoto. Or if you're like me and that's way too much to remember, just tap the URL in the show notes. Now back to the show. Okay, another wedding trend I just don't like. Okay, this one's going to offend some Christians, and I'm sorry. I'm a Christian. Before I say this, I love Jesus. I do. I don't love when couples do their first dance song to a worship song. Like, I get it. Our whole lives are worshipful to God. But our whole lives are worshipful to God. Our marriages are worshipful to God. We don't have to have contemporary Christian music like, I will praise you in this storm, while people are slow dancing and making out on the dance floor. I feel uncomfortable. I don't think the disciples meant for this to happen. I think Paul would have something to say about this. I feel like he'd be like, and as for the weddings, what y'all doing? What y'all doing? I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. And usually the people who do it are the sweetest, most well-meaning. They love the Lord like crazy. I'm not trying to like judge. Again, it's just like for me, I feel like when you're like slow dancing forehead to forehead, talking about the honeymoon night, kissing and everything, I don't need to hear like Chris Tomlin like wailing in the background. I don't know. Okay. Roast speeches. I don't like this. I don't like when we get up for the toasts and someone just starts like honey roasting. I like the honey roast when they're like actually being mean in their speeches. Sometimes people are pretty drunk and that just happens a little bit. But I've seen some pretty gnarly speeches where I'm like, that's rude. And it's just weird. I don't know. I'm like, I get it if you didn't have the best childhood, but you don't need to bring this up on the wedding day. So yeah, be nice. If someone's asked you to speak at their wedding, like be polite, babies. Be kind about it. Okay. Another, I think every photographer, every vendor will agree with this. Outdoor ceremonies at noon in the summertime in the Midwest. I think we're good. Thanks. I love an outdoor ceremony and I love a summer wedding, but there's no reason we need to be sitting in a field on a hot July day at 12:30 p.m., no cloud coverage, no shade, and they're just like standing under this like thing, like a bush or something. The reason why this does not work for me, and honestly, this is a great educational moment. Your photos will not look pretty if you get married outside on a sunny day in high noon with direct lighting. They just will not. The sun is at the weirdest angle and you're going to get these awful shadows all across your face. Your guests are going to be sweating their butts off if there's no shade. Now, if you have a tent, if you have tree canopy, if you do something, that's different. But I'm talking about if you want that outdoor summer wedding, just move it a little bit to like 4:30, especially in the summertime. Sunset's not till like 9 or like 5 o'clock. That'd be so nice. It'd be so nice. And everyone would feel so happy. And your photos would actually look good. It'd be so good. So please be considerate when you're planning the time of your wedding if it's outside. Please. Please. Okay. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm not a huge fan of this. This is the haircut before the reception trend. And I've seen this on TikTok. I kind of hate when the videos are like, watch what the bride did next. And it's like not that exciting. Like getting your hair cut is not a huge shocking thing. I don't know. I don't know why I feel this way either. I think it's a little the like fact that it's emphasizing just the bride, especially during cocktail hour when you usually are doing one of two things. You're usually either mingling with your guests or you're taking photos with your bridal party and with each other. And so to me, to spend that precious time on your wedding day, instead of being with your people or your brand new spouse, instead to say, no, I'm going to go like spend half an hour having someone like cut my hair and then I'm going to like reveal it on the dance floor. I don't know. Like I'm all for getting a fresh haircut after you get married. Like I like that trend of like after the honeymoon, you get a fresh cut and it kind of like symbolizes a new start. But I don't know, the like doing it on the wedding day feels a little weird to me. Oh, I don't know. I feel so mean. I'm not judging anyone at all that I personally have ever worked with. I'm just trying to say my feelings. Garter tosses, yay or nay? What do you think? I personally am good without them. That's just me. I feel like it used to be funny when I was a hormonal teenager attending a wedding and watching like my super conservative friends get married. And then it was like funny. I was like, whoa, like crazy. He's going up your skirt. But then now I'm like, ew, no, it's just gross to me. I'm like, stop. No one needs to see this man who literally 35 minutes ago was like crying and praying and taking communion. And now he's just like kissing your legs and we're all watching. Like, it's so weird to me. I'm good. Have you been dreaming up a photography business but have no idea where to start? Okay, because I think I have something that will change the game for you. Whether your goal is to launch a full-time photography business and shoot luxury weddings all across the world, or simply start a side hustle to bring in a little extra cash in this crazy economy, India Jade EDU is here to help you thrive. Yes, I am talking about getting yourself a photography coach, and lucky for you, I offer just that. You can choose between a 60-minute one-on-one session or a 3-part coaching call suite for more time to learn at your very own pace. In either coaching offer, we can cover all your questions from camera settings to workflow, honeybook setup, finances, pricing, social media marketing, copywriting, blogging 101, Pinterest, SEO, brand auditing, and website creation. Literally, you name it, and I will help you walk away with a clear strategy and practical tools to move the needle and kickstart your business. As a thank you to listening to the show, take 10% off your coaching call. Head to indiajadephoto.com/edu to get started, and make sure you mention the show in the inquiry form. That's indiajadephoto.com/edu. Okay, groomsmen. Oh, guys, this is from a true story. One trend I'm out of. Not even a trend, just a thing. I'm done with this. Groomsmen dancing, grinding with the bride. ¿Qué pasa? Why? What's going on? No. I've seen this too many times. This isn't like a one-off thing that I've seen. This has been a few times, a few weddings. Specifically, this one groomsman took off his shirt, removeth his robe. I was trying to say something more fancy. Removeth thy robe on the dance floor and gave the bride a lap dance. This is the groom's best friend. Are we setting ourselves up for a successful marriage? What? So that's a weird one. Not a huge fan of that. Another trend I wish would DJ. Wait. Oh, I know what I meant by this. Yikes. Okay, I'm going to say it really quickly so that it doesn't hurt anyone's feelings. When the DJ shushes everybody. And this is based on true events too. I love the DJs. I do. They're good. But when they shush, I personally feel like, am I in a children's library? We're supposed to be getting the party started. And I get it. If someone's about to give a speech, you want to say, hey, everyone, focus your attention over here to the screen. Dad is going to give a speech. That's fine. But I've had DJs who are like, hey guys, we're going to get the party started. And people are still mingling and having fun. And he literally goes, hey guys, listen up. And then he pauses and hits the microphone. He goes, bam, bam, bam. And he's like, I'm going to wait till y'all stop talking. That's better. What? Sir, you were hired to keep the party going, not to be rude when the guests are actually enjoying themselves. It's just a little weird to me. Not a huge fan of that. Okay. And the venues with no parking. Come on, guys. What is this about? The ones where you have to park down the street or pay to park. I don't know. It's fine if it's a parking garage, we're downtown. It's okay. But if it's $20, okay, I had to pay $20 once as a wedding vendor to park at a wedding that I was shooting. And I specifically discussed this with the couple beforehand, and they were like, no, you're good. We covered it. And then the day of, the little valet guys were like, hey, we want to make sure, we get your parking fee. And I was like, oh, the couple took care of it. And he was like, no, they didn't take care of anyone's vendor fees. And I was like, no, I have it in writing in an email that they did. And he was like, I don't know if he was just conning us or if he was literally no, that's not how it works. He literally told me, he's like, no, that's not how it works. We get the money for parking right now. And so I was like, I'll have to pay you later. So I'm on the dance floor with the couple doing the whole reception. Okay. So I shoot this entire reception. I'm shooting this couple's last dance. And the valet guy comes to me while I'm shooting the last dance and is like, hey, we only take cash and you still haven't paid for your parking. So here's Venmo. I was like, 1 second, we're about to do a huge sparkler exit. And also the couple said that they covered my parking. Again, I'm a photographer at a venue and he charged me $20 to park my car at this venue. Can we please not like venues. Like, could we not even with like guests? I could see that maybe being like, okay, that's fine. I get it. You're not going to just give people like 150 people free parking, but wedding vendors, especially when the couples have very clearly tried to take care of this already and like covered it in your cost. What's happening here? What is going on? All right. So I just think that's a little interesting. And I don't think it's a trend, by the way, that people are like choosing, but it's just something that I've been noticing. All right. This isn't a big dramatic one, but this is the last thing I have written. I do have maybe one more that I'll add, but I just don't like it when, maybe I don't want to say that. I think I'll take it off my list. I'm on the fence about multiple locations. I just am. I like the significance when people get married in a church. And I like the idea of a cozy morning spent getting ready together. But I guess I just see a lot of these weddings recently where it's like, we're getting ready at this Airbnb and then we have to head over to the ceremony space at the church. And then we head over to the park for photos. And then we head back over to this place for the reception. And it's like 4 or 5 locations. And so I don't know, I guess just as a vendor, it's kind of a lot to manage, but it's like not about me. So that's why I'm taking it off the list. Cause I do think it's meaningful for the couple. So that's why I'm like, it's fine. But I guess for the guests too, if it's more than 2 venues, like ceremony and reception, it can kind of get crazy, but I don't know. I'll take it off the list. It's fine. I'll deal with it. Okay. And then the last thing I was just thinking about adding is when this one sounds too mean. I don't know. Maybe I'll say it. When the grooms don't really care about what's happening. Like when I like go and check in on them and be like, hey guys, like, can I get a photo of you by the window? Like, I'll just have you put your jacket on, put your watch on, like, you know, and they're just kind of like, oh, whatever. Like, I'm like, do you want to be married? And this hasn't happened often, but once in a while I'm like, okay. Or I'll just ask him like, hey, are you excited? Like, you ready to see your girl? Like, are you ready to do this? And he's just like, I guess you just gotta do it, get it formalized. You know, we've been together for 20 years. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I don't know. That sounded mean, but I guess like just care. If it's your wedding day, you should probably care. Just like a little bit. That's the moral of the story. Just a tiny bit. Thanks. But yeah, I guess that's all I have for you today. A couple of trends I've been seeing recently while we're on this topic are glowy, like styrofoam glowy tubes during the reception. That's kind of been bigger this summer. It's been more recent. Lots of fun. Photo booths have always been a trend, but I've seen some recently where you can just text yourself the digital photos as well as get a printout, which I think is pretty cool. I like having the digital like right away. That's helpful to like post and stuff. And for some reason, a lot of photo booths usually don't do that. I've seen a lot of trends recently of just not a huge wedding cake, but like little desserts or even a private cake cutting has kind of been something I've seen recently, which I like. Excuse me, I just burped. I think the whole wedding cake tradition, I'm not really sure where that started from, but it gets so overhyped. It's like they're just slicing a piece of cake. And some people are just like, why do we have to do this? So then they either don't do it or just do like a private cake cutting. And I like those a little better because it's just like, is it symbolic about like starting off sweet? Like, why? But I don't know. And another thing I've been seeing trend is couples walking into the reception without their bridal parties. Like the bridal party all goes in as one clump and then the couple goes in, or the bridal party just goes in not announced at all. And it's just the couple getting introduced. So that's kind of fun. Another thing I've been seeing recently that I love is dads giving like PowerPoint presentations as speeches. Pretty cool. I really think it's a cute thing when the parents have this really great relationship with the kiddos. Let me just degrade everyone. Their children who are now married adults. I like when the parents do like really meaningful, like a big PowerPoint or a special dance or something. I think those are always really sweet. So yeah, I would love to know if you are a wedding vendor or just a guest and you've seen some things, what are the wedding trends you just want to get out of here? Because there's so many. There's so many that come and go. Mostly, I mean, again, this is all like a joke because I will support any of my couples. I'm shooting their days. I'm going to cheer them on. It's just I've seen a lot and I've got my preferences, and that belongs on my own show. So you're welcome. You're going to get my opinion on my own podcast. You're welcome. All right. Let me know what you think. What are the wedding trends you don't like? What are the ones you do? Do you have any you disagree with? Let me know below, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, my butt got stuck. Oh, gosh.